Hi, welcome back. Let's take a look at Geogebra assignment number 4. And so make sure you're in a new tab or you click on the link in Google Classroom, but I'm going to go to geogebra.org/geometry. Okay, and it should automatically sign you in. Make sure that you're signed in so that this saves to your account. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to show our axes. We're going to show grid and then do the major grid lines, okay? And we're going to put our triangle more so over in this area here. But I'm going to start plotting some points. All right, so my first point is going to be the point 5, comma 1. All right, that's going to be point A. Point 2 is going to be, or point B is going to be the point 5, 4. That's point B. And then C is going to be the point 9, 1. All right, so from here, all right, let's make our triangle. All right, so we're moving it over just a little bit, just so that you can see it. And let's move our points out outside of our circle. And let's go ahead and click the More button. And again, I want you guys to measure the side lengths, the angle measures, and the area of this triangle. Okay, so the distance or length, I'm just going to click on each of those segments. And there we go. All right, and they're already on the outside. That's good. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and measure our angles. Let's measure angle A. So I'm going to click the segments that create angle A. That's a 90-degree angle. Let's go ahead and find angle B by clicking each segment around angle B and then angle C over here, okay? And then let's find the area. So let's click on the area. And looks like I got to click the, if you want to move something, you always got to click the move button. All right, so here we go. All right, so there's our triangle, okay? Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called reflections, okay? And let's go all the way down to transform, all right? We've done translate by a vector. We've rotated. Now we're going to reflect about lines, okay? So if I clicked reflect, it says to select object to reflect, then the line of reflection. So when I come over here, I have triangle ABC, and I'm going to click on that triangle, and then I'm going to choose my x-axis as my line of reflection. So if I click that, all of a sudden what this has done is this figure has been reflected over the x-axis, okay, to create triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime, okay? And notice that each point and its corresponding point are directly across the line of reflection. So this is 1 unit away. So point A to my line of reflection is 1 unit away from my line of reflection. Same thing with A prime. A prime is 1 unit away as well from my line of reflection. That's the same thing for C and C prime. B is 4 units away from my line of reflection, and B prime is also 4 units away. So that's, you know, one thing that we talk about when we do reflections is talk about the distance from one triangle to the line of reflection as well as its image to the line of reflection. Okay, so I'm not done. I want to do a couple more of these. So I'm going to click move so that I can kind of move this over so that we're centered a little bit. Because now I'm going to take my reflected image, triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and I'm going to now reflect this triangle over my y-axis. So as we go over to transform, we want to reflect about a line. So I'm going to click this line, click this figure here, and we're going to click the y-axis as our line of reflection, and all of a sudden we create triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. And notice, you know, the same thing happens, all right? This triangle was a little bit further away from this line of reflection. Okay, point A prime was 5 units away. So when you reflect that over, it's also going to be, A double prime is going to be 5 units away as well, okay? And so now, all right, so I've reflected this line across here to this guy. All right, now I'm going to reflect this triangle across the x-axis. So if I click this triangle, A double prime, C, B double prime, C double prime, across the x-axis, I create A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime, okay? Now the other thing, notice this is that when I reflect across the axes, that we kind of get a uniform shape here. We actually create a rectangle between A prime, A double prime, A triple prime, and so notice that this is actually a reflection as well, okay? And that's going to be part of one of your questions, okay? So this is just an example of how to reflect these across the axes. Now, we don't have to necessarily reflect across, straight vertical and horizontal lines. We can make other lines. So I'm going to go to the lines function, and we have all these different line functions. We've got segment with a given length. We've got a line, array, and a vector. Okay, we're going to choose a line today. And what we're going to do is I'm going to click on the line function, and we want to select 2 points or positions. 2 points are going to create a line. So I'm going to start at my origin here and click 0, 0. And notice how, like, once I click that, then I can move my cursor around and plot a point wherever I want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the point 1, 1. Okay, and so from there, all right, I've created a line with a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1. This is the equation y equals x, okay? Now, I'm going to use this as my line of reflection, and I'm going to come here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And I'm going to now reflect. Let's go back down to transform. I want to reflect about the line. So I'm going to use this line of reflection. I have to put the line in first before I do use it as a line of reflection. So a line has to exist. The x and y axes already exist, so that's why I can use them on there. But if I'm using something other than the x and y axes, I want to put that line in, okay? But in any case, I want this, this line drawn here, and I'm going to reflect it about a line. So I'm going to click the reflect button. I'm going to click my original value here, and I'm going to reflect that now over this line. All right, so this one's a little bit different. All right, and you can see the same thing in that B and B prime dash 1 are equidistant from my line of reflection. Same thing with A prime dash 1 is equidistant here. Same thing with C and C prime. Okay, so just something to notice about that. That's pretty cool. All right, so at this point, this, as far as the drawing goes, this is all I want you to do for the drawing. All right, so when we do this, what I want you to do now, we're going to put some text in, and let me come down here, media, ABC, text. Okay, so I'm just going to click a button here, and for our first text box, I want you to do this. I want you to make sure you put your name. All right, in my case, it would be Joe Police. Let's put the date. Today is 5-4-2020, also known as May the 4th. Be with you. And then this is going to be Geogebra Assignment. Assignment 4, okay? And we're just going to click OK, all right? And that's going to go up here, and we can take this and we can move it around. What I want you to do is I want you to put this right up here, okay? Now, this is simply just for a level 2, okay? Is just making this assignment, all right? And making this drawing and turning it in, okay? The next thing I want you to do is let's create another text box, and I'm going to put this down over here, okay? And I'm going to come in, and I've already kind of created one what I want you to do for this question. All right, so list points from ABC to A prime, C prime. Ugh. All right, so question 2 is list points from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, what is the relationship between each point on ABC and its image A prime, B prime, C prime? Okay, so list the points out from here, list the points out from this triangle, and then talk about the relationship. Okay, now this, I want this to go in this part here. All right, so just put this part down underneath number 2. Okay, let's take a look at question 3. Okay. And let me copy and paste that. Let me get the 3 in there. All right. So I'm just copying and pasting this in. Again, I'm going to do another text box. Now, this problem talks about triangle ABC to triangle A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime. And it's, on this question, it asks what is the relationship between each point on ABC and its image. Whoops. Let me make sure I'm on the move button. All right, so, and what is the line of reflection from ABC to triangle A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime? Okay, when you do that, put that text box up over here, okay? And then the last level 3 question is question number 4. What is the relationship between the side lengths and angles of each triangle? So let's come over here. Let's put, and you can, if you put these text boxes in, one thing that you could do to make it easier on yourself and me is to actually like click enter on some of these sides. And so level 4 question, if you hit enter, then it'll bring it down and put it into a nice little text box. Question 4 is what is the relationship between the side lengths and angles of each triangle? So answer that question and put it down here. And then the last question is a level 4 question. All right. So let's go over here. Let me put this in. And let me go to another text box. All right. And I'm going to click down here. And okay. And I'm just going to come down. Each of these, I'm just going to arrow down and hit enter. That way it kind of shows up on here. And so the last thing I want you to do is create a new page, make your own figure, any sided figure. You can choose this triangle. You can do whatever you want. But I want you to reflect it 5 times. But have the final translation, and I don't want translation, I want the final reflection, okay, map back onto the original figure. You must have at least one non-horizontal and one non-vertical line of reflection. Okay, so here's your line of reflection here. And so, a non-vertical would be something that's on a diagonal, okay? So when you're done with everything, all right, and I'm on the move button, all right, we got all these things in here. And let me click on this guy. I'm gonna hit enter on all these so that it fits in here. And so, all right, that's question 3. I'm going to move question 5 down over here. Question 2 over here. Let's edit this. And all I'm doing is going to each line on here and hitting enter so that it brings it down and it puts it into a much more usable area. All right, so that's what I want you guys to do as far as these questions go so that I can look at your assignment and see which ones you've done, okay? So at this point, once I'm done with all this stuff, I want to go up here to my menu and I want to share my my thing, okay? And make sure that when you save this, all right, so I'm just going to go in and type this Geogebra assignment 4, okay, and make sure that here you've got shared clicked so that you can share it with me, okay. I'm going to click the save button, all right, so that it saves to your thing, and then it's going to save, it's going to think for a minute, and then it's going to give me a shareable link, okay? And I want to copy that link, and then I want to go into Google Classroom and then submit that link into that assignment. So that's what I got for you guys on this one. So, if you do zoom in, wherever you put those, it's okay. If I can zoom in, I'll be able to like see these text boxes. So the farther you zoom out, they're gonna go onto each other, but that's okay. So cool. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.